Are we better off just letting the aliens just take over? Are we just better off sitting back and doing nothing and just let it happen? You have to look at it. Let's figure this. Let's look at this whole thing from the point of view of the aliens themselves, right? Now, these beings, they look down at us, and what do they see? They see a race of violent animals. I mean, basically what we are. I mean, yeah, of course, yeah, a lot of people out there aren't violent animals, but because there's so many of us that are violent animals, as if you were to be looked at by an outside race from outer space, from another planet, they're going to look at that and they're going to see the bad stuff. Right, they're going to notice that. I mean, they're going to notice, Russia going into Ukraine and all that kind of thing, and people getting killed for no reason whatsoever, except power-mad maniacs wanting to send messages, wanting to maintain power for whatever reason because they're just crazed. That's what they see. They see. I mean, it's unfortunate. A few bad apples makes it bad for all of us, right? That's the whole reality of the situation. I mean, if you were to look at this whole situation, if you were on the outside looking in and you look down at this, and that's just some of the people who are in powerful positions that do these kind of things. That's bad enough, but then you have the regular criminals running around, people getting killed all the time. People selling other people drugs that kill all the time. I mean, there's just so much badness in this world, right? Where human beings are just terrible to each other. So if they look at this, I mean they would seem hopeless, right? I mean, it really would. We're not getting any better, it doesn't seem, right? People are trying. We try to get better. A lot of people say we got to make things better, but what happens? Does it ever get better? It never gets better. It's always the same story. I mean, just look at not even 100 years ago, in the 1940s. Look at what happened over in Nazi Germany. My God. I mean, stuff like that, it could happen again because human beings allow people like that to come into power. Anything could happen, right? We're just rotten. We're rotten to each other. And so if you're standing outside the box and you're looking down at this mess, well, you're going to say, well, these things, they can't save themselves. And we're going to let them develop technologically and come out into space, and what are they going to do then? Yeah, what are we going to do then? Probably not good things. Because, people, it's just absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's so true, so true. So whoever we put in charge is, most of the time, a lot of the times, they're going to be power-hungry maniacs. I mean, just look what's going on over in Russia right now. Terrible, terrible. And it happens. It's all over the world still. Even we just don't learn. Human beings don't learn our lessons. We don't learn lessons. A lot of people want to pretend history didn't happen, and then this way they could just allow the things of the past happen again. But so are we just better off to just if there is this hybridization program ongoing, right? Aren't we just better off just to let it happen? Maybe the aliens know what they're doing. Right? Maybe they have maybe if over time they'll fix this problem for us, because we won't be us anymore, we'll be them. So I guess there's all kinds of ways of looking at this whole situation, and that's just another way of looking at it. Could be. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I don't like it. I don't like that idea. I don't like the idea of the human race being slowly absorbed by some extraterrestrial invader. Right, I don't like that idea at all. It sounds to me, it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's one of the scariest movies I ever saw in my life when I was a kid. I don't want that to happen. But in a way, if you're standing outside the box, maybe it's the right thing to happen. Maybe it's a good thing, right? I mean, because we're never going to get a grip, I don't think. I don't see it happening. We're never going to get a grip. So maybe that's what this whole thing is about. To get us under control, under their control, to allow it to happen. I mean, to allow them to basically, that's how it's going to, the only way we're going to ever learn is by changing physically in all ways, right? We got to get rid of these, what's ever in our brains that causes us to act like maniacs, right? And the only way to make that happen is via a hybridization program. I don't know. It's just another way to look at this whole thing. Again, I'm not saying I like the idea. I'm just saying it could be. It could be the reasoning behind all of this. Because we're uncontrollable, we're unpredictable, and we can't be trusted. We can't trust each other. We can't trust each other. I mean, for the most part, a lot of us try to be nice and live good lives, right? That's true. But there's just too many of us out there who are just selfish and rotten and would sell their own mothers out. And that's just the way things are in this world. Anyhow, it's just an idea. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we're better off. Maybe we just should sit back, forget about the government, just forget about disclosure, forget about all of it. Let's just sit back and let it happen. Just let them take over. Why not? Maybe it's for the best. You know, it will end all this fighting and violence and hate. Maybe that's what the whole purpose is behind this hybridization program. It might take 1,000 years, who knows? But maybe that's the only way, because I don't see the human race. I mean, you look at the way things are now and the way things were in the past. Really, what has changed? There's still monsters among us, right? People chopping off people's heads over in the Middle East because of religion, right? It's nothing changes. We're the human race. We're monsters to each other. And maybe the only way to change that would be by alien intervention, and alien intervention via hybridization program change the structure of the entire human race, change the infrastructure of our DNA. That might be the only way to change this. And so if you look at it from that point of view, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing.